It may only be episode 2, but I think I'm already ready to call Spice and Wolf a masterpiece. Sure, if you've seen the original anime, many people have already called it as such, but I've only seen 2 episodes of this show. And that conversation at the end of this episode, and just realizing, with so few words spoken, sure on Lawrence's side, we get a bit of a flashback to it, but in general, not a lot was actually explained, but so much was explained. And the fear that naturally a human has for a wolf, but as we then see from Holo's perspective, the fear that a wolf has for a human, she didn't say a lot, but she kind of said everything with how there's certain things she wouldn't explain or reveal, at least yet. In time, absolutely I could see her doing that, but the idea of crossing a line, making Lawrence upset, but then how it redirects not in a way to make his feelings lesser, but more so, they kind of see a little more eye to eye that they both have fears, they both have insecurities, and how their emotions, despite both of them coming from completely different walks of life, we literally have a god among men and an average merchant who has lived a life, has suffered loss and even victories. But like, the idea that it's only episode 2, their chemistry is off the charts. We may have like a fake husband-wife situation for traveling. We already know they're gonna actually get that officially. I mean, a blind man can see that. You don't need to know the source material to see that. But the fact that it's so beautiful, it's so captivating, it's actually slow. Like, this is an objectively slow-moving anime, but it doesn't feel slow. But like, when you break down what happened, it is, but there's something about just how good the character banter is, that it's like a mixture of if Fruits Basket met Kino's Journey met Mushishi and kind of had a love child. Like, that's kind of what we're dealing with. That was incredible. Of course, I have a full live reaction to this week's episode of Spice and Wolf over on my Patreon. If you want to see my full uncut thoughts, they're over there if you're interested. I'm still in the process of deciding if Spice and Wolf will be a Monday or Tuesday show. I'm going to judge how it performs on Monday here. Again, because obviously first impressions can be skewed with viewerships, but I'm liking this. I'm liking this a lot. When I hear about like favorite dynamics, couples, pairings, Holo and Lawrence have been on top lists for a long time. I think I always see it in some way, shape, or form. And this is the intro. And I can already see why. I can only begin to imagine my feelings at episode 12. Or episode 25. Like, this is just so well produced. It's funny, because one of my biggest praises last week was the horse animation. Apparently in the original Spice and Wolf, the horse animation was pretty god-awful. So it's good to see that they brought their A-game this time around, because the horse animation is still drop-dead amazing. Like, I'm like, damn, they animated that horse splendidly. But there's something about the dynamic, and how simple, how mundane, how peaceful the show is. I think Holo has some of the most powerful censor bars known to man. Her tail and her hair somehow elegantly cover every bit that needs to be covered. But it's pretty funny watching our boy walk in being like, you know, I'm trying to be a gentleman, but you're just there. And how like quickly the conversations go away from that. Like the initial shock's there, but then quickly it's like, okay, we're just trying to get dry and we're having an actual conversation. Casually dropping some lore about the wheat and how we need to keep some on us and how it's like now in this little pouch. Little mannerisms like how she's more interested in the cheesy potatoes. I've never seen a more big massacre than the way this wolf devoured those potatoes, but God bless her. And I like the idea of what they did towards like the last third of this episode with this one merchant who's pretty much talking. I kind of believed it, even though I didn't trust him almost right away. There's something about him that just gave me a wrong vibe. But the idea about how like there's this new silver coming in and like, you know, in their country it'll basically be worth the same as the old, but the exchange, and then how you can make a profit with different countries and stuff, like it seemed like a good idea. I love how they explained it. I think it was Holo who said it, like, hey, like what the lie isn't as important as why the person is lying. So it's like, what is the reason for this man lying? Like what, so we need to make him think we're on his side, but eventually, you know, we're going to figure out what exactly his end goal is. But my favorite part so far about these 2 episodes is just how natural 2 people from 2 incredibly different walks of life, how they view the world, how they view the passage of time, and how both of them have their own scars, their own insecurities, their own fears, and their own hopes for the future, and how clearly these two, like right now, they sleep. He's in the driver's side of the cart and she's obviously with the fur, and they're divided by a very simple small wooden wall. But the fact that they're already that close by episode 2, it's not going to be too long before they could sleep in the same area of the cart and eventually build something beautiful. But I love the fact that while yes, that is going to be incredibly important, they're building relationship. The thing I'm most interested in is how potentially both of them could help the other overcome some trauma, some insecurities, but most importantly, tackle new events that they both will deal with together. There's something beautiful about the dynamic. The VAs are incredible. There's definitely a lot of pain behind Holo's face, because she very quickly will switch into her trollish mindset and nature, but she does have an element of sadness that's always kind of radiating off of her more often than not, and I'm interested to see how she'll open up more and more. But I just love the general banter, I love the general look, and I love how playful the cast can be despite being so new to each other. There's just something so different about a show like Spice and Wolf. I definitely love seeing so many passionate fans last week. I mean, usually when I take a look at what people are thinking about shows, I'll take a quick glance at the Reddit thread or something like that, but I was really interested in, between different social medias, my own comment section, and I took a look at a couple of videos as well that people made, and just, it was so great to see so many people who were so passionate about the original anime, how happy they were about not only how good and clearly passionate this new version is, but how hopeful they are that they might end up seeing a full adaptation, because this could just be the start of the first season, right? Like the fact that when the Fruits Basket remake came out, you know, people assumed and were hoping that it would be a full adaptation, and just as the seasons continue to get announced, it was just always great, because when a show or a light novel means so much to a group of people, that it comes back not just as a soulless cash grab, but something to connect to a new audience, to say, hey, we are in 2024 now, let's modernize this, but still keep the essence of what this show is. You can just tell this is passion, rather than just, okay, what can we adapt or readapt to make the most money? Spice and Wolf, it's here. And I am very happy that this gets to be my first experience. I had a lot of people say like they were jealous that, you know, this is my first time truly getting to experience this world, given how the anime is looking and everything. It's beautiful, it's well produced, and the dynamic of Holo and Lawrence, I feel like could easily become one of my top couples as well, and it's probably not going to take too long. Well, let me know what you thought. Original source reader, original anime watcher, anime original. Let me know how you're feeling down below. Leave a like if you enjoyed, subscribe if you're new around here, of course, ring that bell. And like I mentioned, we got a full live reaction over on my Patreon, and hey, while you're over there, I'll also give you a video shout out. So today we got Stas Zakharov, Chorus, Project 7, Julia Daniel Witz, Emma K. Pop, and Sandra Nunn. So I appreciate the support, everyone. Please take care and have a good one.